Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, which most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will not feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. Marianne Williamson. Like to say hello and welcome to I Am the Change. Michelle Kelly started this in 2019 as my New Year's resolution, stating I was breaking up with fear, I was breaking up with shame, and I was breaking up with guilt, followed by a weekly video every week sharing how fear, shame, and guilt hasn't broken up with me yet. It's definitely a lot better than it used to be, that's for sure. And I was sharing it's been like a stalker. My New Year's resolution for this year was not to weigh myself every single day, and I started doing it every other day. Then I was able to put the scale away I'm going to say like maybe 2 months ago. I'm really bad at time. Which was awesome. And then I took it out last week to weigh myself. Then I got weighed at the doctor's this week, and then I weighed myself again today. So I'm like starting to get compulsive about weighing myself again, which I put it back away in the closet, and I didn't take out the batteries. I left them in, and it was easier to do today. So I need to back away from the scale. So you guys, I've been sharing in my videos every week about what this journey has been like for me. And first of all, I just have to share this because this is huge. Today, my son Angelo and his girlfriend Dana and their dog Curtis, which is my grand dog, they sold all of their worldly possessions, and they are driving to Colorado, and they're going to test it out and see where they want to live. So they started their adventure on going to find themselves, which is amazing, but it is so sad for me because Angelo is my only child. He's been with me for the past 28, almost 29 years. He's been with his girlfriend for a couple of years, but this is really official, and this is really far, and this is really sad because I loved having him around, and I loved having him close to me and near me. And it's hard having a boy because eventually you just have to let them go be with their girlfriends, and even if it's all the way across the country. So I am in Pennsylvania, and they are on their way to Colorado Springs, but they let me do the Find My iPhone so I can at least keep track of them to make sure they get out there okay. So they're starting their adventure, and my whole life is shifting in a different way because I'm happy for them, but I'm grieving the loss. It's sad. And then I started to think today, I don't think my parents felt like this when I left the house because my mom used to say I ruined her life. And my dad was saying they were going to move and not tell me, and thought it was so funny. And I've shared with you guys that I was always considered gullible because when people told me stuff, I believed them. So I was always told they couldn't wait until they got rid of me, until I got out of there, and I believed it, and it felt like that. And the one thing, I didn't want to do that to my son, so I didn't. I was always happy to have him around, and he didn't ruin my life. He made my life so much better. So you guys, I've been talking about what's been going on in my life, and I was talking about I'm in the process of settling my lawsuit, and I'm really involved in my case with my attorney, and about red flags. I want to talk about red flags today because this is really important. You know, years ago, I used to come from the place of, I was so lucky you would talk to me. I was so lucky you would see me as a patient. I was so lucky that you would hire me. And I'm now realizing they were lucky too. They're lucky to get me too. And it's equal and it's mutual. And a lot of times a red flag for me is when somebody is not willing to answer my questions or act like I'm annoying, who won't put what they say in writing. That's another red flag. And I was trying to get a hold of the doctor who did my neck surgery, and I had a couple of red flags. He did a great job on my neck surgery, and I'm so grateful, but I had a couple of red flags that he's not the person to fix my back. I am more in the gray, and that has always been the case with me. When a lot of things are black and white, it's either this way or that way. I've always been in the middle, where, you know, I get a test for my back and it doesn't show up on the MRI, but there's something really wrong. And I used to go back and forth to the doctors and see if they would believe me. And I would keep going to say, you were wrong, you should believe me. And now I know when someone doesn't believe me, I don't need to keep going. I need to move on to the next person. What they're really saying is they can't help me. So anyway, fast forward, this doctor was supposed to write this letter for me, and I found out information about my health from another doctor, and I can't get this doctor to call me or to talk to me. And I'm going to keep pursuing it because I've learned to be my own advocate. And it's really hard to be your own advocate, especially when you don't feel good, especially when people keep telling you no and rejecting you. And to show up and to keep doing it anyway is one of the hardest things that I've done, but I'm doing it, and I'm proud of myself for doing it because I can stand up for myself better than anybody else can. And there were years ago, I stood up for my son. I could stand up for you. I could stand up for everybody else, but I couldn't do it for myself. And I can stand up for myself today, and I have my voice back, which is such a miracle and a gift. And I work on it every single day. So I realize the people that I need to be around are the ones who know that they're lucky to get me too. It is not all one-sided. It's not, I'm so lucky you hired me. It's, you're lucky to get me. So that's how I operate now. That's why I'm unemployable right now, because nobody feels lucky enough to get me yet. So I'm okay with that, but it's definitely a challenge financially. So anyway, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's watching. Please stay tuned, stay safe, and I will see you all next week.